Hello everyone, it's Sal, Stretford Post. How you all doing? And welcome to another episode of Chatterbox. Hope everyone's doing good. Hope everyone's doing fine. Thank you so much for joining me this afternoon, live from Naples in Italy, guys. Hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all doing blessed. It's been a hectic day. I mean, as usual in the Manchester United world. Now, firstly, I'm going to clear a couple of things up. My thumbnail says "Fool Guy." Fool guy, what does that mean? What does it all mean? What does it all mean? Well, fool guy basically means we are the fools, because you know what it is? The media and Manchester United, be careful of being treated like a fool, because this Gyokeres story is going to make you look foolish. And that is basically what it is, because the Gyokeres story has no bound. It has no truth. It was just a tool to raise the price, I believe, in regards to Arsenal and get them moving, because Gyokeres is always winning Arsenal. I spoke to a Portuguese journalist a few weeks ago, and he said he wanted Arsenal. We're not going to move away from that. And basically, we are the fool guys. Ruben is the fool guy. We are the fool guy. Everyone is the fool guy at the moment, because that is what they're treating us like. The fool guy, the one who takes the hits, the pain, the punches, just to promote their asset, if you know what I mean, just to promote their player. So we're all the fool guys. That is what we are at the moment. And to be honest with you, I didn't fall for it. I didn't fall for it. But at the end of the day, you know what? Some people did. And I think that we got to be very careful here, that there are a lot of media outlets who are trying to, play on the Man United's mental health, to be honest, Man United fans' mental health. And we got to be very careful in regards to this. When you want to speak about truth, the truth is Manchester United are in for Jackson and Sesko. Those two strikers are the two strikers that Manchester United are legitimately targeting at the moment. So Jackson and Sesko. Sesko has made it known that he wouldn't mind playing for Manchester United, even if they are not in the Champions League, even given the fact that they're not in the Champions League, I should say. He doesn't mind playing for Manchester United, because some players like to play for the prestige. Some players want to play for Manchester United, regardless whether they're in the Champions League or not at the end of the day. Gyokeres is going to Arsenal. I think we need to accept that. I think we need to accept the fact that Gyokeres is an Arsenal player. And these kind of things, these twists and turns, these nooks and crannies, they do appear in transfer windows. They do. And you know what? It's like a manipulative tactic that they use to try and get more money, or trying to push the deal through and stuff like that at the end of the day. Look, Gyokeres has made it very known he does not want to play for Manchester United. Then so what? Goodbye, Gyokeres. Sayonara, Tara. Enjoy not winning any trophies, my guy. We don't care. We're going to move on. And that's what we should do at the end of the day, guys. Absolutely. But you know what? I mean, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to flip-flop. I would have loved Gyokeres at Manchester United, but it's not to be. And I don't think anyone should be manipulated by what the news is coming out in regards to the Gyokeres. Maybe Manchester United would love Gyokeres. Manchester United have made no offer for Gyokeres. Man United have never made an offer for Gyokeres. Man United maybe have inquired about Gyokeres, but they've never made a proper offer for him, guys. Absolutely, of course, guys. So the biggest thing for us to look at the moment is Benjamin Sesko and Nicholas Jackson. Those are the two strikers that Manchester United are going in for. Those are legitimately the players that Manchester United are going in for in a striking capacity. Jackson, Sesko, and maybe you got Watkins there. But Watkins is a little bit of an issue because of his price tag, his age, etc. Ineos are a little bit reluctant to do a deal with Watkins. Not to say it won't happen, but you know what, with the age and the price tag, etc., it is a little bit extortionate, in my opinion, of course, guys. So, guys, look, you know what, it is going to be, as they do call it, they call it silly season, don't they? There's going to be rumours, there's going to be twists and turns, there's going to be lies, there's going to be manipulation, there's going to be in-the-know people that think they know anything. You know what I mean? I know everything. I told you guys. I mean, everyone, look at the Mbumo deal, guys. I was calling the Mbumo deal for months, you know what I mean? Then you got people on bloody Twitter. Oh, I called it first. I called the medical. Like, you didn't, mate. You didn't call the medical. You got the medical wrong. The medical was this week. You said it was last week, mate. Stop lying, mate. Stop lying. Everyone wants to be somebody. Everyone wants to be the first. Everyone wants to be, the in the know, the guy, the popularity, the clout chasers. That's what they want to do. All I care about is Manchester United and how Manchester United do. Are Manchester United going to sign this player? Are Man United going to be ready next season? Because I care about the Man United fans. I don't care about, at the end of the day, if I'm first, my ego's boosted and all that. Why don't they call up transfer like Senne Lammens, who we mentioned months ago on Stretford Post, eh? They won't do something like that because they don't know, do they? Why don't they call the Mbumo signing before it actually happened on the day, guys? But why don't they call the fact that Brentford had agreed the transfer that we did on this channel, guys? You know what I mean? And that's what they should do. And we got to get away from this because there are too many of these people. I understand they got no talent and they just want to copy everyone else and they want to be somebody. They ain't got nothing and they want to be somebody. But stop making up lies at the end of the day. It is about the football club. If you love the football club, who gives a damn if you're first or not? I don't care because at the end of the day, you haven't got a contact within the club. So if you haven't got a contact within the club, really and truly, you're not really first, are you, mate? You're just following on what other people say. Of course, guys, I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to the stream, guys. Big up everyone. I hope everyone is blessed. Of course, guys, hope you're all blessed. Big up Jamie. What's going on? Gyokeres is a faker. This comes. It's great trying to make things fit. I think it's more to do with many other things, Jamie. I think it's to do with Arsenal. I think it could be to do with them. I think it could be to do with Gyokeres camp. Gyokeres camp a bit of a problem. I did say it weeks ago, Jamie, that Gyokeres camp are a bit of a problem. They like to manipulate things a little bit to make to you know what, to get what they want, to be honest with you. It happens quite a lot, but you know, here we go. Kenny, probably United must be inquiring about Arsenal's transfer situation. I'm not keeping my hopes up. It's not going to happen. I cannot see what happened. He's already reiterated that he wants to play for Arsenal, so I don't think that's going to happen. And when I heard the news, I said, here we go again. And that's why I said, fool, guys, because we're going to fall for it. And we shouldn't be falling for that crap. And we shouldn't be falling for that crap because at the end of the day, we speak the truth on Stretford Post. That's what we do. We speak the truth and we don't want any nonsense. Do you know what I mean? And getting fans' hopes up and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day. Look, Man United might be interested in Gyokeres. Man United might want to talk to Gyokeres, but it's not going to happen at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? It's not going to happen. Whether we want him or not is irrelevant because he doesn't want to sign for Manchester United. He wants to go to Arsenal. And it does look like Arsenal are going to sign him because at the moment, they're not talking to Sesko. This is why the most important thing for us to look at and for us to take seriously is the Sesko, Jackson, and Ollie Watkins situation. That's what we should be taking seriously right now because those are the three strikers I can see Man United, one of those strikers, signing this summer, of course. It is well known that Man United need a striker, and now it's been confirmed by Fabrizio Romano that Man United are looking for a striker. And with Jackson and Sesko, those two strikers are looking the most potent in regards to who we are going to sign. More realistic than Gyokeres at the moment, isn't it? And I don't care. At the end of the day, let Gyokeres go to Arsenal. We don't. Look, at the end of we need to move on from that. And we need to move because at the end of the day, this saga has been going mad, isn't it? At the end of the day, it has been going mad. Now, guys, in regards to selling Lammens, if you watched my short video yesterday, guys, I've been speaking about selling Lammens and that Man United have inquired about selling Lammens. Man United have made first approaches to selling Lammens, the goalkeeper, selling Lammens. And you know what? I hate saying his name too many times, selling Lammens, but I like saying his name because we said it here first on Stretford Post, of course, guys, many, many months ago about him. And basically, Manchester United have made the first steps in regards to acquiring the goalkeeper. He's a very talented goalkeeper. Like I said before, he's a cross between Courtois and Peter Cech. He's a proper goalkeeper. And Man United shouldn't miss out on a goalkeeper like this, of course, guys. But what does that mean for Onana? With Onana in the football team at the moment, it looks like it's going to be difficult for Man United to sign any more goalkeepers if Onana stays at the football club. This is the thing, because we haven't got anyone who's going to purchase Onana. No one's going to want Onana. Unfortunately, sorry, Onana, no one wants you, bruv. But at the end of the day, Man United are looking for a new goalkeeper. They do want another goalkeeper. It's looking a little bit uncertain in regards to Bayindir. Bayindir could be possibly leaving, as will Vitek. So don't be surprised if Senne Lammens comes in initially as a backup goalkeeper for Onana. I know that sounds absolutely crazy, but that is what it could be, guys. It could be initially coming in as a backup goalkeeper for Onana. And then eventually breaking through the team, hopefully, of course, guys. Big up, Sanjay. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're blessed. Good to see you. Big up, Sal, everyone in the chat. Big up, Sanjay. Hope you're well. Officer, how are you, my friend? Very well, my friend. Marky Mark, how you doing, brother? Are the rumours of Victor true? Try not to get too ahead of myself. Nah, mate. At the end of the day, the rumours are true in regards to Manchester United being interested in Gyokeres, but it's not going to happen. It's just wide off the mark at the end of the day. There's a lot of manipulation going on, and manipulation tactics in regards to the Gyokeres camp. Gyokeres agent, Gyokeres family, Gyokeres friends and family. It is a lot of manipulation going on. They're trying to push through the deal, to be honest with you. Sporting are playing hardball with Arsenal. Gyokeres has reiterated the fact that he wants to play for Arsenal. He doesn't want to play for anyone else. So Gyokeres looks likely to go to Arsenal. Of course, whilst he's not signed for Arsenal, there's still a very, 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 very small chance that he might go to Manchester United, you know, if Arsenal don't pull up the peas, of course. But looking at Arsenal at the moment, Arsenal need a striker, and they're not talking to any other striker at the moment. They've dropped talks with Sesko, and now they're going in for Gyokeres. So look, more times than not, when a player is willing to take a cut, has openly sounded out that he wants to go to a certain club, it's rarely that player doesn't go to that club. Just like in Bumo, do you know what I mean? You got people on Twitter like, oh, he's going to come to Man United. His medical's going to be this. His medical's going to be that. You got to don't fall for that rubbish, guys. At the end of the day, we know that everyone knew that once Bumo said that he wants to come to Manchester United, it's very, very unlikely that he wouldn't, because the player always wins, and that is what happens, guys. You cannot. It does not make business or logical sense on and off the field to keep a player that doesn't want to play for your football club. You know, because at the end of the day, if you start next season, all right, and he doesn't do well, he's unhappy, the value is just going to go down. The value is not going to go up. It's just going to go down, of course. Absolutely. Sanjay, big up. I want Sancho out. Me too. Good afternoon, Tybo. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. I read about Colin Mawani. Watched him a lot at Frankfurt, and I think he could do well at United. Cesar Jackson or Murray. It's Mane for me, no question about it. Well, I take that at the end of the day, Tyborg. What I'm hearing, Tyborg, is that Man United could quite possibly do a loan deal for Mawani with an obligation to buy. So that's very interesting going forward. Mawani's a very good player. Of course, he became famous with that miss against Argentina in the last minute. Do you remember when Martinez saved the goal and obviously ended up Argentina winning the World Cup on penalties? But as suspicious as that was. But what I would say is that, Mawani's a talented player. Sesko's a talented player. Jackson, I mean, look, you know, I'm not going to say nothing about Jackson because I'll get people jumping on me right now, like saying, oh my goodness me, you rate Jackson. Oh my God, I can't believe you rate Jackson. Look, you know what? At the end of the day, at this moment in time, looking at Rasmus Højlund yesterday, brother, I cannot fathom how we could sniff up, put our noses up at any striker at the moment, because I mean the way that Rasmus was playing yesterday, leaning in the back of the players, falling on the floor. Come on, guys, he's got to do better than that. Absolutely. Big up, Tybo. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're well. Big up, Bobby. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see everyone in the stream. You absolute legends. Hope you're doing well. Gaza, what's going on, my friend? Even in Sal, just the one is a huge roast dinner now. Time to chill out with the talk. Oh, lovely, Gaza. I haven't had a decent roast dinner in a long time, and now I'm over here in Italy. All I've had today, I've had let me remember. I've had tagliatelle. How do you say it? Tagliatelle. Tagliatelle. It's like spaghetti. It's like flat spaghetti. But yeah, that with I mean, I've had some of that. I've had some of that, guys. Absolutely, and a lovely prosecco, by the way. But yeah, that's what I've had, and lovely, absolutely lovely times, of course. Good afternoon, Kazi. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Gaza, Lammens looks good. What do you make of the Gyokeres story? I think it's an agent. It's agent talk, Gaza. Absolutely. As you said there, it's a manipulation tactic for them to get more money or to force through the deal. I think this is why my thumb now says fool guy. This is why I said it, because at the end of the day, the media are playing Man United for fools. Right, and that's what they're trying to do. And Gyokeres and his agent. As soon as you mention Manchester United, boom, the thing goes mad, doesn't it? The internet, the social media, it goes absolutely crazy, doesn't it, at the end of the day? So it's very important for us to not be the fool guy, not fall for that nonsense, because that's what they do. You know, they manipulate us because we're very passionate Manchester United fans at the end of the day, and we want what's best for this football club. Unfortunately, there are media outlets and certain Twitter accounts that just want to twist the knife in. To, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, Gyokeres is going to Arsenal. I've already accepted he's going to Arsenal. Portuguese journalists are saying he's going to Arsenal. There was a rumor on a certain Portuguese website, Sporting Lisbon, that he still has a chance to go to Manchester United. Now, as I said, guys, I'm not totally ruling out anything here. I'm not ruling out absolutely nothing. I'm not saying that he's not going to sign for Man United. He would never sign for Man United. Whilst he's not signed for any football club, there's always a chance he'll sign for Man United. Just like there's always a chance he'll sign for Barcelona or PSG. There's always a chance at the end of the day. And you know what? But what we have to do is take everything that people say at the moment about Gyokeres with a pinch of salt, because him and his agent have been nothing but problems right from the start, guys. And I'm starting to understand where Sporting Lisbon are coming from in this situation. Absolutely. Big up everyone, of course. Ephraim, good afternoon. How you doing, my friend? I'll be doing well. Is it true about Jackson news? Jackson is on Manchester United radar, Ephraim. Whether you like him or not, Nicholas Jackson is on Manchester United's radar, as is Benjamin Sesko, are both on Manchester United's radar, as is Mawani. I spoke about Mawani this morning, of course, guys, on Stretford Post on Breaking Dawn. We spoke about him, and there is a number of possibilities in regards to the Mawani deal. Of course, he's currently at PSG, was on loan at Juventus last season, if I'm not wrong, was on that loan at Juventus, and he could go on loan at Man United. You never know, that could possibly happen. There is rumours about that. But Man United do like and admire Mawani. But at the moment, right now, what's looking rife, what's looking very, very serious is Jackson and Sesko. Those two players are the two players who we should be looking at right now as the two players that could possibly sign for Man United. One of them, one of the two, of course. Absolutely. Big up, my friend Danny B. How you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well, guys. Absolutely good to see you. Of course. Thank you, Sal. Why I always try and tune in. Let's get a keeper. Big up, Marky Mark. Thank you so much, my friend. Really good to see you. My biggest concern is this, right? People were talking about, as I said this morning, people were talking about when Erik ten Hag lost to Flamengo under 20s, 5-0, of course, which is embarrassing. Of course, it's embarrassing, but it is a preseason friendly, and that's something they have to realise. And one thing I want to say is that, you know what, Newcastle lost, got thumped to Celtic, right? Who was the other team that lost to a German, Hansi, not Hansi Flick? Don't want to go there again. But yeah, you know, other teams have lost in friendlies, and Man United is the one to get highlighted, of course. Man United are always highlighted, hated, adored, never ignored, of course. But there you go, guys. What I would say is that, you know what, Erik ten Hag lost to Flamengo under 20s. And instead of, you know what, digging a knife in regards to Erik ten Hag, what I would say is that Man United should be looking at Flamengo under 20s. And as we've been talking about, and I've spoken a lot about it, Gonçalves, a 19-year-old Flamengo 20 player. Absolutely brilliant. And Man United should be looking at transfers like this. I don't know why we ain't tuned in. We ain't got our ear to the ground in regards to things. We're really slow in regards to things, and we really need to get a step on in regards to it. And it's not that Man United have looked at him and he's not good enough. That's not true. I mean, yeah, look, we've already lost out on Richard Rios, guys. There was no more talk about Richard Rios. Richard Rios has now signed for Benfica. Of course, I was speaking this morning about Richard Rios coming to Man United and how we need to cut out the middleman. And you know what? Man United had him on their list for a year. They did, as subject to popular belief. But unfortunately, he's gone to Benfica, and we miss out on another player. It's just the way it is, guys. It's the way the cookie crumbles with the way we're owned. Yes, we signed Mbumo. Yes, we signed Cunha, but we need to get a step on. We need to get moving. This momentum today with Lammens, okay, with Sesko, with Jackson, just keep it going. Keep it pushing. Because at the end of the day, we need as many players as we can get. Because watching the game yesterday, you know what? We had a lot of enthusiasm yesterday in regards to the game. We thought, oh, you know what? They've been training a lot with Ruben Amorim. They've been playing a lot with Ruben Amorim. And you know what? It might be good yesterday, but you know what? They sucked all the life out of us after the first 20 minutes, didn't they? At the end of the day. And after that game, you know what? I started reevaluating my life after that game against Leeds United yesterday in that friendly. It was absolutely disgusting. And you know what? This worried me. And I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, Sal, it's a friendly. Don't worry about it. It's not the fact that it's a friendly. This is a very important preseason, guys. And what concerned me was the fact that we played like we did last season. We played like we did last season yesterday. Yesterday was like a carbon copy of last season. We saw loads of games like that. In fact, we saw games like that where it would be 0-0 after about 75 minutes, and then the opposition team would get a goal and we lose 1-0. How many times did that happen last season? Look, I know. Look, Cunha only played half the game. It's only his first game back, of course, guys. And many of these players, it is only their first game back. But a few of those players in that team, I mean, they got to pick it up, guys. They've got to stop the nonsense now. We need players to step up next season. And we need our strikers to step up next season. In regards to Rasmus, I just don't think he's got it, guys. I know it's harsh, but I just don't think he's got the facilities to be a top Manchester United striker anymore. I just feel like that. I mean, look, send him on loan, and see how he does. See if he can score some goals in another league. That's what I do. Because when you look at his career, he has never been prolific, guys. And are we trying to squeeze something that's not existing? Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, Premier League 200. What's going on? As long as Rash is playing in front, we ain't improving. Big up Premier League 200. Hope you're doing well. Big up everyone. Big up Randy. Hope you're well. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're blessed. Sal, I think we have to get a midfielder first, then we can go for a striker. We go for whoever we have to go for, mate. I think we need a striker because what was Man United's biggest problem last season? Goals. We weren't getting goals. We need both. We can't be getting one first. Either one would be great. We need both. That's what we need. The biggest concern for me is that Bruno don't play us in the midfield, and that is what it is. And that is a confirmation. We've got Ugarte, we've got Mainu coming back. So I think they can do a job for Man United in that position, definitely. And unless Man United sign Baleba or unless Man United sign Wharton, I don't think anyone is going to be an upgrade at this moment in time, in my opinion. We can go for Yavi Guerra. I spoke about Yavi Guerra, of course, this week. But are Man United going to go for a midfielder? This is the problem, isn't it? They have already put their eggs in the basket in regards to Bruno Fernandes playing as a number 8. I don't agree with him playing as a number 8, but it does look like he will be playing as a number 8, of course, guys, unfortunately. Big up Ephraim, my friend. Gaza, sounds like we are going for a striker and a keeper and totally ignore the midfield situation. It's true, Gaza. It does look like that, that Man United are totally ignoring the midfield position. Look, at the end of the day, with Cunha and with Mbremo and with a striker and with a goalkeeper, it is a big improvement. Of course, it is. We are in no illusions that Man United need a midfielder. Of course, we do. We need a midfielder in there. I would love to get a Baleba or Wharton. Gaza, absolutely would love that 100%. But I don't know if Man United are going to do that, given the fact that we spent 65 to 70 million on Mbremo, and then we're going to buy a striker. It's going to cost a further bit amount of money. Maybe if Man United do a deal with Muani, get him on loan or something like that, and then go after the midfield position, maybe we can do something out and strike a little bit of a deal like that, if you know what I mean. Maybe we could do that. Maybe we can work out a deal with Vlahovic and Sancho at Juventus. Maybe we can do that and maybe save some money, kill two birds with one stone, do you know what I mean? And then we can bring Vlahovic to Manchester United and then pay for a midfielder. We can do that. I mean, these are the type of things Man United should be doing regardless. We should be going after a midfielder, of course. Killing two birds with one stone. Trying to work the market. That's what we need to do. We need to try and work this market, of course, guys. Absolutely. Ephraim, it is amazing how Arsenal fan had to wake up before Gyokeres. That is a bit... I mean, at the end of the day, look, you know what? I've seen Madueke play quite a few times, seen him play for England. Look, you know what? At the end of the day, Madueke is not a £16 million player. I mean, I think they got ripped off a good one there. I really do think that. And you know what? Sadly for Arsenal, for us, Arsenal are going to sign another player anyway. They're going to probably sign Gyokeres, and they'll be good next season. They'll be all right next season. They never had a problem last season anyway. They came second. I mean, they're bottlers and all that. We can say that, but you know what? They are a good football team. They're not a winning football team, getting over the line, but they can be. They're not far away at the end of the day. And that's one thing we have to admit. And to be honest with you, Madueke, I would never have spent 50-odd million on Madueke. Absolutely not. But he's definitely going to play on their left side of midfield. And then they're going to have Gyokeres, they're going to have Saka on the other side. So that's what I foresee for the future for them. Michael, good morning. Good afternoon. How you doing? Happy Sunday, Sal. Hope you as well. Big up. Thank you so much. Happy Sunday to you as well, my friend. Hope you're having a lovely day, of course. So who do you prefer, Sesko or Muani? For me, Ephraim, can I be honest with you? And I want to be honest to everyone. And I want to give you my honest opinion. I prefer Sesko for me. I just got something about Sesko. And I've been thinking about Sesko for the last 2 years, guys. Not in a weird way, but I've been thinking about Sesko for the last 2 years. I mean, I've always said that he's a good young player and blah, blah, blah. Muani, there's something about him. I don't know what it is. There's something about his strength. I don't know about his presence in the box and stuff like that. That doesn't give me chills. I think Man United need a different type of striker. We need a number 9, a proper number 9. And I don't think Muani's that guy. I think Muani's the sort of guy, he's like Katike, for example. He's a guy who gets the ball from deep and plays that false number 9, ghosting, of course, behind the 2 number 10s, of course. So that's what I think. I think Man United need a proper target man in regards to like a Sesko or something like that, in my humblest of opinions. Stephen, as usual, Ineos out and Glazers out. Big up yourself. Hope you're doing well. I can't wait for the season to kick off properly and just done with all these transfers. I agree. Gaza, you know what I don't like, mate? I don't like all the in the nose, all these people in the nose. Look, I work on this thing. I work hard on football and I work in football. And the thing is that there's so many people out there just trying to be that guy, trying to be first. I'm the first one. I'm the first one. And they're not. Do you know what I mean? You're not, mate. Just stop lying. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. And it is an absolute joke, to be honest with you. Julian, what's going on? Good to see you again. Hope you're doing well. Hey, Sal. Hey, mate. Hope you're doing well. Hey, chat. Sesko read the script so well. Ingredient number 1 is to say, I only wanted United. Number 2 is to say, I am a supporter of United. Even Jim said that 25% ownership. Jamie Carragher is more of a fan of Man United than Jim Ratcliffe is. Let me tell you that right now. But yeah, you do make a lot of sense. But at the end of the day, Man United could turn around and say that, well, you know what? You know, Liam Delap was our first choice because he wasn't he? At the end of the day, he was the first choice for Manchester United. And then they could say, well, our second choice was Gyokeres. You know what I mean? And now your third choice, Sesko. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. So it can work both ways, of course, guys. Absolutely. Absolutely, of course. Let me just get some water. The water in my water don't taste like it oughta, as they say, of course. Yeah, there you go. Glinios out. Big up, Kazi. Greed, of course. We are just a couple of months ago talking about keepers, Lammens, and Restes. Always right, my friend. Marky Mark. You know what? We don't come in there as a community to boast, but it is true, isn't it? Do you know what? It is annoying because at the end of the day, we spoke about Senne Lammens when it wasn't popular to talk about Senne Lammens. No one knew who Senne Lammens was. No one knew who Restes was, the Toulouse goalkeeper who plays for France under 20 and stuff like that. No one knew about them, to be honest with you, mate, did they? You know, and probably some of them still don't know about Restes. Restes is one that we mentioned a long time ago, of course. But, you know, with Stretford Post, you know, I ain't one of those glorified people with 100,000 Twitter followers and things like that, with fake bots and things like that on their Twitter pages. I don't have that. But what I do, I just try and spit the truth. And whatever believes me, they believe me at the end of the day. Yeah, look, every little bit of truth is not going to come true. I mean, there could be transfer rumors that are true, but they won't materialize into a transfer and it won't happen. Even the Senne Lammens thing, it might not happen. Do you know what I mean? But Man United are interested in him. Do you know what I mean? And that is the truth. But things change in football and things can change very quickly in football, you know? But I'm glad that you're realizing, Mark, that, you know what, this community is, you know, we do get news quickly and we do get news first. And I'm glad about that. But, you know, let people get their little moments of glory, pretending that they're in the know, do you know what I mean? And getting it wrong and then backtracking and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? It is hilarious to watch in a way, isn't it? At the end of the day, guys, absolutely. Miles, I hope we can get 2 more signings. Love the channel. God bless you always, Sal. Be proud of your channel and Angel. Big up. Thank you so much, Miles. Bless you, my friend. God bless you, my friend. Really appreciate that, mate. Absolutely. Lovely person you are, mate. Thank you, mate. Absolutely. Michael, per what we want to build as a team, we also need Sesko as a striker. If it really means business, we also be addition if money is available. Rios has left, Michael. We can't get Rios anymore. Rios has just signed for Benfica. So, as I said this morning, Benfica are deep in negotiations with Rios. I spoke about it yesterday as well. Today is here we go in regards to Richard Rios and Benfica. So we are not going to be getting Richard Rios anytime soon, my friend. Unfortunately, as much as we want him, we're not going to get him anytime soon. He's gone to Benfica. And you know what? That's what Benfica do, don't they? They get those sort of players, they pay them, and then another team will buy them for 60, 70 million. That's what they do. Sal, when are the players go on preseason tour? Well, Man United have got a game against who we're playing. I think it's West Ham. I think we're playing, isn't it? We're playing on very late in the morning for me. 3 o'clock in the morning. We're playing against West Ham in Atlanta, guys. So that is on the 27th of July. So early hours of July morning, 27th, of course, guys. So that'd be 27th of July, not 26th. It'd be like the late night, 26/27. So there you go, guys. That is when we're playing in another friendly, of course. Tuesday, Ephraim, big up, my friend Gaza. Big up, Tuesday, Ephraim. Yeah. It's going to be a late one, brother. A late one, of course. When do we fly out to US? I think we fly out. It's either tomorrow. I think it's not too long away. It's either tomorrow, or day after tomorrow. I think definitely. Sesko, please. Big up, guys. Thank you so much. You're welcome in Boomer Official tonight or tomorrow morning. Also, the unveiling of the new training facilities. There we go. Lovely, Jubby. Some good news, at least, isn't it, Gaza? At the end of the day, it has been very, very exhausting with all the negativity that's been going around. I mean, I don't like to be overly zealous, and I like to call things as they are, but it has. I'll be honest with you, Gaza, it's been absolutely exhausting this last few weeks, reporting on Man United. Oh, my goodness me. The negativity, it's been so crazy. And sometimes I try to balance it out. I try my best, but we had one of our worst seasons in history. We were embarrassed last season, let's be honest. And it's been a knock-on effect to that. And I'm glad that we are starting to get a little bit of positivity coming in. I know we need a lot more. We need a lot more signings. We need, obviously, a full rebuild, which means like about 5 or 6 more signings for me. And that's why I say, even if we sign in Bumo, even if we sign a striker and we sign a goalkeeper, I still think we need a midfielder. I still think we need other players in there because, I mean, looking at that game yesterday, it just gave me so much of PTSD, guys. It really did. And I felt like, if we, these players will play like that next season. They will play like that next season. Don't think it's just a friendly. They will play like that next season. And that is my biggest worry about a lot of these players. Big up, Gaza. Lorraine Wallace, Jan for Lorengo too. So absolutely, Danny B. Yeah, I'm a big. I was watching the game briefly, and I saw a couple of players there. And one of them was obviously, I mean, Wallace is a great player, and Gonçalves, it was another player, 19 years old, brilliant player. Absolutely gave him hell in that game. Absolutely brilliant, Danny B. But Danny B, we know Danny B, isn't it? Man United don't do these type of things, do they? They don't go out there and they don't scout these type of players, do they? We know more than them in regards to what's up and coming and stuff like that. That's why we mentioned Senne Lammens months ago, isn't it, at the end of the day? So, you know what? And we could have stolen a march on many players, guys. We could have done, but just the way it is, isn't it, guys? Absolutely. Big up Danny B, by the way. Yeah, absolutely. Very, very like you and Danny B should be our football scouts. Kenny, I would love that to happen, mate. Me and Danny B would absolutely smash it, mate. Me and Danny B will find Man United about 10 new players in a week. Probably more. We would do. That's what probably will happen if me and Danny B went on scout. And big up, Kenny. And most of this community, the great thing about this community, and which I love, is that we got our ears to the ground. We know about football. You know, there are many communities out there that they don't really have the ear to the ground and they don't really listen. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day. We're playing. Look, and this is what it is, Sanjay. And I think the one thing that is extremely, how would I say it, was under the radar yesterday was the fact that how we transcend the defense to the attack. So basically, when Man United get the ball, we're very slow at passing that ball around. You know, there's no midfielders are coming back to try and retrieve the ball, collect the ball from the defense. The defense is not pushing forward. They're very slow and decisive. Even Heaton wasn't. Heaton had a great game yesterday in regards to being a goalkeeper. But in regards to the defense, the goalkeeper and the wing backs, we were very slow and transitioning the defense to attack. And when you do that, you give an opportunity to the opposition team to get in shape and defend. You know what I mean? And very disappointed yesterday. I cannot fathom, I cannot explain to you how disappointed I was with that performance yesterday. It was absolutely disgraceful. It really was. I nearly leaned back during my live stream. You done a Rasmus Højlund, mate. Rasmus Højlund is the lean back guy, of course. So what is realistic expectation for next season? I will give you that prediction, Ephraim, when we sign all the players, when all the players are in, I will give you that prediction because at the moment, I don't want to predict anything. I did say that on the last, just before the season starts, I'm going to give a big prediction show. So basically what I'm going to do, guys, you heard it here first. I will predict everything and I will revisit it at the end of next season. And that's what I would do. And see who's right and wrong, of course. Danny B, check out Cal George. Yep, heard of him. 40 goals, 2 assists, and Crescera. And I mean, Danny, there are players out there, mate, that Man United are just simply ignoring, you know, and it's a crime. We've lost Richard Rios, Danny B, you know, to Benfica today. You know, another great generational player that we could have had in our team and would have slotted in very well in our team, you know. And Benfica have got a very good player on their hands, and we're going to see that next season. We're going to say, oh, you remember when Man United wanted Richard Rios, blah, blah, you know what I mean? And yeah, it is what it is, guys, isn't it? Story had not expected us to play totally different, but I do not like the system. It's wing killing. I don't think it's the system story. I'll be honest with you. I think we don't have the players to play the system. The system works. It works with Sporting Lisbon in Champions League as well. What I would say is that these players don't have the IQ to play that system. They don't. And that's the way it is. You look at it like this, right? None of those players are Ruben Amorim's players, apart from Dorgu. And Dorgu was one of the man of the matches yesterday. You know what I mean? And he was bombing up and down that wing. That's what we need to understand. If Ruben Amorim gets these players in, right, you're going to see a different team. You're going to see a fabulous team, guys. But as I said many, many times, guys, and I'm not going to flip-flop from this. I said it on the show probably before Ruben Amorim walked into the door and we were talking about Antonio Conte and stuff like that. I don't like the back three. I've never liked the back three. And that is the way it is because I believe the back three is too defensive, okay? But I've seen Ruben Amorim with his back three, the transition into sometimes 4, sometimes 5 into midfield. I've seen that and I've seen it work. And I know it can work. But at the moment, we have to look at it from a point of view that we don't have the players to play that system. We don't. Any world-class player in the world can play any system. If you're a world-class player, you can play any system. But unfortunately, we don't have world-class players. If you put Zinedine Zidane in that system, we'll play it. You know what I mean? If you put Ronaldinho in that system, we'll play it. It doesn't matter. We don't have those players, unfortunately. They have only been back for 2 weeks, and it's the first game. It's true, Gaza. It's true. But at the end of the day, we have to be realistic, Gaza. We can't sugarcoat this, right? We have to look at the way this team play, right? And this team is not going to play any different. Let me tell you that. We can force it and squeeze water out of a stone as much as we can. These players will not perform next season. The current players. You're not going to turn Peter Crouch into Ronaldinho. You're not going to turn Bruno into prime Maradona. It's not going to happen. At the end of the day, look, you know what? These players are what they are, right? They're not very, good. Dare I say, a lot of them. And some of them are very overrated. Now, I like to look at friendlies in a way that, because I knew this will happen, by the way, guys. I knew that this will happen. So I like to look at friendlies in a way that what positives can I take from that friendly? This is a different friendly situation, my friend. This is a different time. We came 15th last season. We need to hit the ground running in the first preseason game. We've had 2 weeks together. That's a long time, on the pitch. So what I would say is this, right? I like to take the positives. Yesterday, my positives were Cunha, thought he done well. I think Dorgu, brilliant again. Yesterday, Euro, composed, brilliant. Aiden Heaven, composed, brilliant. And Heaton did very well yesterday. And what I say is that, those are the positives that I take out of the game yesterday. And that's about it. Absolutely. Patience will be key. We've had 13 years of patience, Gaza. I think we've got to be careful with that patience thing because that's what Glinios want you to say, of course. But we will be backing Ruben Amorim until the end. I'm not going to be called in Ruben Amorim's head, by the way. But, he needs these players in. Baleba is my man. Big up Michael. We love him, but I don't know if we're going to sign him. We need a creative and defensive midfielder, and we need a senior defender. We need a striker. Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. I hope we do get one. Big up Lewis Clark. Hope you're doing well. So, do you think playing 2 midfielders only in midfield is a risk? No, not at all, because we have probably sometimes 5 at the back, and we have 3 in the centre-back positions who can cover in that midfield. So basically, you've got the 3 centre-backs. The middle centre-back can go forward, can help out in the midfield. We've got enough there. I mean, people read too much into the tactics. They read too much into it. And you know what I would say is that these players just not got the IQ to do it. I think it's actually quite defensive sometimes, the tactics. It doesn't need to be because this system can turn into a very attacking system as well. If you look at the midfield, for example, you haven't really got wing backs, you've got wingers, right? And then you've got 4 in midfield, you've got 2 ahead of them and 1. So at the end of the day, you've got 7 attacking players right there and only 3 defensive players, There you go. Tyborg, for the first time we disagree, Sal. Moreno is far better than Sesko, in my opinion. But hey, I hope you're right and we sign Sesko. Tyborg, football's about subjective. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, what I would say is that, as I said, I'll be happy with anyone at the moment, mate. Looking at our striker yesterday, Tyborg, looking at Rasmus yesterday, it wasn't very pretty, was it? It was quite embarrassing, if I'm being honest. I just don't think that Rasmus is that guy, mate. I'm going to be honest, and I back this guy a long time, you know, from before. I backed him a long time. And I just think that anyone who walks into that striker position right now will do a better job right now. Yes, we need another midfielder as well. Of course we do. We need another midfielder to protect and to add, you know what, a little bit of support for the attacking players. But I'm really looking forward to, what I am looking forward to is seeing Cunha and Mbeumo and seeing how the strikers work with them. I wouldn't mind seeing Xerxes. Of course, Xerxes is not a number 9, in my opinion. He's another number 10. They're drifting out. But Mwani's not prolific, and that's what I think we need a proper gunman. A proper gunman. A guy who was when one-on-one against Martinez in the World Cup final would just do a little loop over the goalkeeper, and it's a goal. You know what I mean? That is what Rooney would do. That is what a great striker would do. You know what I mean? Not just hit it hard and fast. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. So, yeah, look, at the end of the day, Mwani's a good player. I just think that he's too much of a false number 9 rather than a number 9, a focal point that we need, someone who can get the ball. Sesko was never my first choice. It was always Gyokeres and Osimhen and Mateta are my first choice strikers, but it doesn't look like we're going to go out and get them anyway. So, yeah, guys, big up Tyborg. Liverpool spent 300 million this summer. Apparently, rival fans told us this United disturbed the market because, you know what, hated the door, never ignored again, Chow. At the end of the day, look how much they spent, more than 300 million. Why don't anyone mention the fact that they overpaid for Ekitike? Tyborg will tell you they overpaid for Ekitike. Ekitike is a good player, but for bloody 65 million, 90 million euros, 90 million euros, unbelievable, guy, unbelievable. A guy who's not proven in the Premier League, by the way. And people complaining that Man United spent the same amount on Mbeumo, who scored 20 goals from midfield, winger, for Brentford. And the Premier League, you know what I mean, at the end of the day. So, yeah, disgrace, isn't it? But that is what it brings, of course. Afternoon, brother Gray. What's going on, my friend? I hope you're doing well. But thank you so much, brother Gray. Please don't forget to smash the likes. Absolutely. Don't forget to smash the likes and subscribe if you're new, guys. It'd be absolutely fantastic. Big up, Gaza, my friend. Big up. Sal, do you think next year will be prolific strikers on the market? I think, my honest opinion about strikers, Ephraim, that the striker market is severely reduced these days. There is hardly any great strikers out there that you can look on. When I was growing up, more or less every single team had a great striker. Every team had one good striker. I can go down the league in the 90s, guys, right? I can go down the league in the 90s. I could say Southampton had Matt Letizia. Coventry had Dion Dublin. Aston Villa had Dwight York. You know what I mean? Liverpool had Stan Collymore, Robbie Fowler, and all those players there. Leeds United, you know what, had Brian Dean and you know, what's it, Yakubu and players like that. Do you know what I mean? And I can keep going, guys, if you want me to. Arsenal had Bergkamp, you know, and Anelka and all that. And you keep going down the league and you realise that teams these days, there's not many great strikers out there these days. Inter Milan and Zamorano and Ronaldo, and then you've got Barcelona who had Anderson and players of that ilk. Juventus had Del Piero, and nowadays there's like you count. Oh well, we got you know what, we got Gyokeres and we got Osimhen and who else? We got Mateta and you know who else is out there who can score goals? And you look at the likes of Serie A and things like that, and you look at them and you think there's nothing out there, is there? At the end of the day, absolutely not. Gaza! I wish every day I just can't type during the week because I drive for a job, always on the Bluetooth though. Gaza, I really appreciate you, mate. You're an absolute legend. Thank you so much, mate. And be careful on the road, mate. Absolutely. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in every single time. Even if you think about it, that's enough for me, mate. I really appreciate you, my friend. You're absolute superstar. Ephraim, Sal, which position will have to be addressed in the transfer window? As we said there, striker, midfielder, goalkeeper, right wing back, maybe another defender, who knows? But there is quite a lot of work to be done in this transfer window. Definitely. Yeah. I don't think everything's going to be done this summer, though. I really don't. Speak up, Sal. For me, the system formation looks like the same one that was found out last season, but with Cunha. I don't think it was found out, Yorkshire Cowboy. I think the players don't have the facilities to play the formation. It wasn't found out. The players just don't have the facilities to play it. They don't have the ability to play it. There's two things that we can do. We can persist with it, get the players to play that system. But my advice to Ruben Amram, and I'll be honest with you, Yorkshire Cowboy and anyone, if you do not get the players to play that system, I mean 90% of the players to play that system. If you don't get 90% of the players to play that system, change it. You could play something similar. You could play the wing backs, but you can play 4 at the back and play more attacking, you know. But the fact is that I don't think he was found out last season. I think it's just that we didn't have the players with this between the years. Sal, what's the biggest problem of the club? This owners and the players. The owners are the players, mate. The owners are the problem. Ephraim, absolutely. Then it goes down to the players. I think there is a cultural problem, and that will change once the owners are gone. Once the owners are gone, the cultural problem at Man United will change. Absolutely, I believe that. Big up, Ephraim. Gyokeres is incoming. I don't know, John. I don't think so, mate. Big up, Sal. Big up, LT. How you doing, brother? Hope you're doing well. Can't wait to see Mbumo in a United shirt. Really good to see Mbumo, by the way, in a suit. And with Rashford to Barcelona, I hope it's a needle pusher in terms of the window, and hopefully we'll get Sancho and Antony with the deals already pending. Once Sancho and Antony leave as well, and probably Garnacho, you will see a lot of, hopefully, fingers crossed, you will see some players coming in. We will see a lot of players coming in, hopefully, guys, absolutely. Kenny, that's true. Whenever I've seen Højlund, literally, I mean, you know, when I was watching, I worked in League One, right? And there was a lot of players that would get the ball, chest it down, with their knees bent, with their arms behind the player like that. Now, that used to happen a lot. It used to happen to great strikers in the past. Gaza used to do it. You know what I mean? And things like that. You know, there are great people used to do it, but there's a way to do it. What Rasmus Højlund does, he bends his knees, he holds back, he holds the player back, but he falls down and he loses. He loses the contest. So those little individual battles there, those little bits there, you can't lose those contests. You got to bully that defender. Bully that defender. Bully him. You know what I mean? At the moment, we're looking weak. Every time we have Rasmus and he gets the ball, he's bent, he's gone like that. And look, guys, I have nothing against Rasmus. I've spoken to him on Instagram. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. And the thing is, right, I like him, but I just want him to do those things. Bully. He's got the strength. Bully him. There's no difference to Gyokeres and Rasmus in regards to stature, you know, in regards to physicality, you know, and unfortunately, it's just, I backed him all the way. I've spent a long time. People know this. People know that about me, that I backed Rasmus all the way for a long, long time now, but I just don't see it now, honestly. Percival Sovereign. What's going on, my friend? I've been doing well. If we get Jackson, I'm going to crash out. I literally don't rate him. I'd rather put my girlfriend up for a broken answer. Oh, Sovereign. There you go, mate. I know. I mean, I did compliment Jackson the other day, and I got absolutely crucified for it. I got absolutely murdered in cold blood. Murdered. Absolutely. I think you guys, in regard to Jackson, you guys are harsh, man. He's a human being. Leave him at the end of the day, guys. Yeah. You know what I mean? Oh, dear. You never know. He might come in and Man United, he might bang a hat-trick in against Arsenal. Can you imagine that? I remember these days. Cunha, Leon, and Dorgu were possible. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Leon was absolutely brilliant as well. Absolutely, mate. Brilliant. People turning against Cunha, Kenny, on Twitter, bruv. On Twitter, people are turning against Cunha. I looked at it, I said, bruv, are you crazy? I said, are you mad? You're turning against Cunha. He's had one bloody game, half a game, and you're saying, oh, Cunha ain't good enough, bro. I don't know. Oh, what is wrong with you, man? Oh, my goodness me. No wonder we don't deserve success. Flipping heck. There's some of these people, honestly, vibes fans, man, vibes. No, if you're top internationals. Are they top internationals, Story? Are they really top internationals? You could look at Bruno, maybe. The rest of them, I don't think they're top internationals, mate. But maybe they get exposed. They don't have IQ to play that system, mate. They don't. It's very well known that Man United players don't have the IQ. Didn't they play a 4-3-3 again with Erik ten Hag, mate? What happened there, mate? You know, at the end of the day, what happened there? What's going on there? You know what I mean? What's going on there? Didn't they play other systems? Why couldn't they play the other systems? Why couldn't they play under Erik ten Hag? Please explain to me. Come on. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, guys. Absolutely. 1 second. Let me read this tweet. Now, I would say, guys, I would say that just watch the Europa League final against Tottenham. When I talk about 30 likes, guys, can we get to 50? Come on. What I would say is that watch the Europa League final against Tottenham. You didn't need tactics in that game. Tottenham sat back. Now, a team and players with a good IQ would know how to open Tottenham up, like they did in the 90s. Like Man United, you think Man United didn't play against a low block in the 90s? We played more of a low block. Teams used to play 11 at the back. But we had IQ to open the team as a team. It's not all about individual IQ. It's about a collective IQ. They don't have it. They may be individually good players, but they're not a team player. They lack the IQ to see free passes ahead like Paul Scholes used to do. That is IQ, seeing free passes ahead. You know, they don't have that. They didn't have it yesterday when Leeds easily defended yesterday, you know. Doesn't matter if they have international players. Most of these players ain't technically good enough. I agree. Absolutely. Casemiro, Brazilian Chelsea, doesn't have the legs in midfield. Yeah, he's not. I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? That's the thing. Now, you could argue that Casemiro played with Modric and Alonso in his career. You know what I mean? And he's had great players around him his whole career. As soon as he gets some, you know, okay players, it's different, of course. Striker market is dead now. Absolutely, Kenny. I agree with that, of course. So why is Ugarte not starting games? I don't know, Ephraim. I really don't know. This is the one that bewilders me. I would like to see Ugarte playing a little more. Maybe we have to face the reality, guys, that maybe Ruben Amorim just doesn't rate him. I like him. I rate him. I think he's a good player. The problem is this, and I'm gonna say this, guys. Okay, and I don't want anyone to jump on me. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Cold-blooded murder. I don't want anyone to do that, right? What I want to say is this, right? Bruno plays that number 8. Ruben Amorim will not move him away from that number 8. He will not move it. Bruno will play 100%. So that leaves one position available in the midfield. How you agree with that is whatever you agree with. I don't agree with that. I don't think Bruno should be a given to play in the team. I really don't. Just what it is at the end of the day. Sal, I'm not looking. Big up, Ahmed. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Sal, I'm not looking forward to the next season. Seems it's going to be a repeat of last season. We need physical and technical central midfielders. Exactly what we've been talking about, Ahmed. If we go into the season with these players, we might as well just throw in the towel right now. Look, it's going to be better because we've got Mbeumo and we've got Cunha. It will be better, but it won't be much better because we haven't got the midfield. We haven't got the goalkeeper. We haven't got the right wing back. We haven't got the striker at the moment, but it will be a little bit better. But what we have to do, we have to make sure we fix that midfield, number one, because the midfield is the engine of that team. The striker and the midfield, two big problems that we had last season. You know, and we didn't score a goal. We haven't scored goals for 2 years. We've been a minus goal difference for 2 years now, haven't we? Sal, Luke Shaw is done. He has to go. I agree with that, Ricky, mate. Big up yourself. Hope you're doing well. Tyborg. Sal, I'm 100% sure we're flopping the Premier League and he's a slower league to perform. Good player who, in my opinion, worth about 45, 60. Absolutely. But Liverpool got robbed and long may it continue. Tyborg, you know what? No one's mentioning that, are they? No one's going to talk about the fact that Liverpool got robbed. It's all about Man United overpaid for Mbeumo. A guy who scored 20 goals last season, for crying out loud. That guy was on level with a bloody Mohamed Salah and people like that. You know what I mean? And people talking about, we got robbed for 65 million. What? I don't know what a player can do to be not worth that much money. He done everything last season. And you know what? I'm glad he's playing for Man United anyway. These people can hate on. I'm glad he's playing for Man United anyway. But one thing is for certain, Man United. I would have loved a critique at Man United. Tyborg, I won't lie. I would have loved anyone at Man United. You know what I mean? I said it again. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, he's going to play for Liverpool, and they're going to be okay next season. Liverpool, Tyborg. They've got obviously Florian Wirtz, Frimpong, obviously now Nketiah, Gyokeres, 350 odd million. You know what I mean? Oh, and it's Man United who are fluctuating the market. That's we're the ones who are doing it, isn't it? It's all Man United. It's all Man United's fault. You know what I mean? When we bought Cunha on his release clause and we bought Mbeumo for his market value. You know what I mean? But we're the ones who are fluctuating the market. It's ridiculous, isn't it, Tyborg? Madness. Big up, Tyborg, my friend. Absolutely. Glock 9 shouldn't be able United or West Sway from Watkins. Cheers, Sal. Big up, Majestic Pete. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing 9. Glock 9, bullshit, absolutely. Should have been make United sway away from Watkins. You want Watkins? Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't mind Watkins. Watkins is a proven Premier League striker, majestic piece, so I wouldn't mind him. Sal, Højlund was good in the first. Why he regrets so much? In the first season, why has he regressed so much? I don't know, mate. Like I said it many years ago. Do you remember remember Fati, who used to play for Barcelona? And people were talking about Fati as the next Messi and things like that. And do you remember Boxic? Not Boxic, what's his name? Bohan, who played for Barcelona as well. And they were all deemed this great future stars of Barcelona, and they declined. They were good at the start, and they declined. Now, there's a period in a footballer's career, especially at their age of 20, 21, 22, right? Around that area, where things have to go right for them. A little bit of luck, maybe, you know, and you need, and then from then you start elevating yourself. Unfortunately, it's not down to obviously Rasmus entirely, but he's been thrown into the deep end at Manchester United in a team that is void of confidence, in an atmosphere that is toxic, expected to be the main man to score goals when he's never really scored goals in his career. And you know what? He's just the pressure's getting to him, in my opinion. I do believe that maybe if you don't want to sell him, maybe we should send him off on loan, regain his confidence, get some goals, maybe go back to Italy, maybe go to France or Germany, get some goals, get confidence, get more know-how and stuff like that, working in a different league, and then come back stronger. Maybe he can do that. But looking at him now as a striker, he reminds me of a League One striker. And I say it as a guy who worked in League One. He reminds me very much of a League One striker playing against Premier League opposition, unfortunately. Majestic Pete. Mark Hughes was great at it. Yes, Majestic Pete. He was good at it. And the one thing Majestic Pete is what Mark Hughes did. He used to go right down and he used to have his hands round like that, right? But he would win the battle. He would get into the battle and he would make sure he wins that battle, Mark Hughes. You can do it. You can practice. You can do it, but it's a difficult way to play. But what Mark Hughes used to do, and I'll tell you what Mark Hughes used to do. Mark Hughes used to do that. He used to back into the defender, right? He would get the ball and bend it in the bloody corner. In the goal. You know what I mean? He'll get that, turn, boof, goal. You know what I mean? There was a game many, many years ago. It was the first game of the season. I think it was about 1994 or 5, around that time. 94, 95, around that time. Mark Hughes got the ball against Queen's Park Rangers, QPR. Backed into the defender, turned, shot, top corner. I don't know if anyone remembers that. First game of the season, QPR, around that time. And turned, shot, and it went into the top corner. You can do it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Man like Sal, man like Genghis Khan. Good to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. Good to see you again. Ephraim, Sal, Højlund was good in the first season. Why we get? I've just mentioned that. Big up, Ephraim. Big up yourself. Lol, the bum shaking I saw this morning for Gyokeres, just for Yafab and Ben to say not happening. Absolutely. Stop joining yourselves in, just like sporting scare tactics. Shane, let me just tell you something about thumbnails, right? What does fool guy mean? What does fool guy mean? It's on the actual thumbnail, mate. Just so you know, right? Just so you're aware of it, Shane, Bapu. Just so you know, so you're aware of it. The fool guy means don't be a fool to the nonsense and the rumors. It's exactly what we said earlier on, mate. We didn't fall for it. None of us fell for it. So don't be stupid. Only silly people will fall for it. But at the same time, whilst he's not signed for Arsenal, anything can happen, right? And that's one thing. Is he going to sign for Man United? Nah, I don't think he is. But that's why I said fool guy. Okay? All right? Cleared that up? Well done. They have a low IQ. 6 of themselves is proven. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Exactly, Kenny. Tell him, Kenny. Tell him, Kenny. Big up, Kenny. Tell him. He's not reading in. He's not reading in. He's not reading. He's not reading, of course. He's not reading. Guys, 7 bloody likes. Can we get to 50 likes, guys? Come on. Can we get to 50 likes? You absolute legends. Guys, thank you, everyone who's joined me today for Chatterbox, of course. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. And also, please don't forget to smash a like on the video, guys. Really appreciate it. Also, don't forget to put notifications on in case I go live, because you never know what's going to happen, of course, isn't it? So, guys, you absolute blessed people, of course. Guys, don't forget to subscribe, please, and let's keep it moving. We're well on our way to 12,000 subscribers. Next mission is 20,000 subscribers. That's where we need to get this community. Guys, have a great day, night, evening, wherever you are in the world. I'm Sal Warner. This is Chatterbox, and I'll see you tomorrow morning if nothing else breaks, guys. Take it easy. Peace.